Hello everyone, so I just released a new version of EMP to GitHub, and with this version we have a new feature called the Credentials Manager. And with that you basically can put your credentials into EMP and reuse them in your queries that you are using to get data from a database or a REST API or from somewhere else. So basically, so you have here under tools, you have these credentials. To be able to access this, there is in the user management, there is a permission. So we have credentials viewer, credentials creator, and credential admin. So to be able to manage your credentials, you at least need the creator permission. And if you don't want to allow somebody to create credentials, but just to view and use them, then you can give them the viewer permission. So let's go back to the credentials. So it's quite easy. When you are under My Credentials, you can click the Add button, give your credential a unique name, for example, my new account. You can put a description, some username, some password, and some other fields as you need them, including a custom field. And you can share these credentials or not with specific users, with groups, with editors, or with a group of editors. So we create this, and then we have here our new credentials with a typo. So now we want to do something with these credentials. So how this works is basically you are using them in a query, and in the query language we have this credentials function, and here we can give the name. This is the name that you give to the credential. It's not the account name or the username, it's the name you give to your credential. And then we get an object back with all these different fields that you then can use in your query. How do you use them? So you can just call the method and say .account or .password to get these specific fields that you want to reuse in your query. You can also save them, for example, in credentials or in a field, or in let's say meta creds, and put this here, and then you can get them from the meta as you like. I leave that up to you how you want to do that. If you put it in the field like here, you can also just directly grab it like this. Yeah. When you access it without any parameters, you just will get null. Yeah, so this is how you basically fetch your credentials. Here is a small example where this can be useful. So we have a source web where we just make a post request to a URL. Okay, this is actually a GET request. Let me do this like this. So, and here we add to the header our API token. Now, if we do this and use this in like 20 or 50 different queries, then the issue is if this ever changes, maybe it's a password and username combination, and this ever changes, we have to change this in like 50 different places. So we don't want to do that. So what we can do is basically just use the credentials, put it here instead of directly using the API token string, and this is still able to execute. So another thing with this whole credentials management is if you do not have access to a specific credential, you will not be able to read them. So for example, this is another user, Monica. Let me copy the query here. So I'm logged in with another user, Monica, and Monica should not have access to these credentials because I have not shared it with her. And then the query will not be able to execute. Because else Monica would be able to read the password, and we don't want her to read the password and do something strange with our credentials, right? So this is quite secure. If you don't share it, you won't have access to it, or this user will not have access to it. And just for fun, when you're using source web, in this case, we get back a JSON payload, and we can unbox this. And in this case, we fetched user data, and this is basically how you can fetch a table from a REST API in JSON format. Good, I think that's everything for the credentials, and I hope this will help you creating your dashboards.